Classic Country, 100.1 WGLC. We are live at the Earlville Fire Station with Captain Wold talking about the situation currently going on within the city of Earlville. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Doing good. So, a wild time with the weather tonight, first off.
Yes, it was.
About 8 o'clock or so, things got a little crazy here in town. Now, sirens did go off.
Yes, our tornado sirens did go off. They were activated.
Tornado sirens were activated. And where were you at when
I was at home.
You were at home?
Yep.
And then you ended up having to go to work, and what work you guys had to do? A lot of trees and stuff down in town, right?
A lot of trees and wires down. We initially responded to the BP Amico for a pole down, and then we've had numerous reports of trees and wires down throughout our district.
And how many streets in Earlville are closed right now?
Streets in Earlville closed right now are probably around 3, and then out in the rural area we have at least 3 to 4 closed currently right now.
Certainly travel with caution or don't travel at all, right?
We advise people to stay home till tomorrow. You know, it's dark out. There could be wires down. ComEd is in the area working, but, you know, give them a break and just stay at home and give everybody a break and just relax. And if you want to look, you can look in the morning and the daylight.
And another thing about what went on at the BP service station on Route 34, a pole apparently had gone down onto the building itself. And what had gone on there?
Well, the pole actually, it didn't hit the building, but it stretched. What it did, it fell away from the building, but it stretched the wires out of the building. It caused a short in the building. They had a little smoke, and we did have to transport one patient to the hospital for smoke inhalation.
Okay, so we did have one injury so far in Earlville this evening due to the storm. Now, it hasn't been called a tornado yet, but certainly the reports and damage coming in. We earlier we'd reported from a shed that had been blown down. I know there's some other structures that have been damaged throughout the area.
Yeah, there's numerous shed doors off farm buildings, and the corn out in the country is pretty flat around the area right now.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You guys are wrapping up your night.
Yep.
I'm sure you got to get home and get the chainsaw out and ready for tomorrow.
Get ready. Another day.
All right.
All right.
It's Classic Country, 100.1 WGLC. Classic Country, 100.1 WGLC. Charles with you on this afternoon, the day after severe storms moving through the area. I'm in Earlville across from the golf course with Mr. Bill Martin.
Correct. Yep.
And he's here. He allowed us to take a look at his backyard where they've had a bit of some wind damage. And let me turn the camera around here so you can see what we got going on. A rather large tree fell off from up there, came down across his fence, and rested up against the neighbor's home, and pretty much has occupied your entire backyard and crunched quite a few other things in your backyard and whatnot. And you were here for the storm yesterday. Where were you at when the storm came through?
I was sitting in my garage.
You were sitting in the garage. Now, had you heard the sirens go off?
Yeah.
And heard the sirens go off, but stayed in the garage anyway.
Uh-huh.
And when did you realize the garage might not have been a good idea?
When it was too late.
When it was too late. So you heard the noise and the commotion out
Oh,
here. Was there a lot of wind?
Oh, yeah.
And you could see, now, could you see the debris falling down, or?
No, I didn't. I just heard it. It shook the garage.
Shook the garage. Was there a lot of water and everything associated with this then?
Yep.
Lots of rain coming down around the area. How long has that tree been here? Obviously, the whole time?
I've been here 25 years. And
Ever seen anything like this before? This strong?
that's unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. Yeah, it's amazing. You've got chairs and stuff crunched over here, tables. The tree just came down. And really, the damage to the neighbor's house looks to be serious, but certainly not anything that's not easily correctable,
Yeah.
I suppose. So in that case, thankful nobody here got hurt, right?
No.
And just scared a little bit?
The kids were in the basement. So.
Well, that was smart of them, being in the basement. All right, we'll have pictures, and I'll have more to the story to add to this here in a few minutes. Thank you very much for talking with us today.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's Classic Country, 100.1 WGLC. Classic Country, 100.1 WGLC. Charles joining you once again on this hectic weather evening in Northern Illinois. I'm east of Earlville right now with Carl Zimmerman. Carl, had an interesting evening so far. What time and where were you at when the storm hit?
Basically, we were in our basement around 8 o'clock. We started getting the notices off of Facebook and off of Weather Channel at 7:30, so we were pretty well prepared. But It blew pretty hard for a few minutes and some damage, and then it hit probably, I'm going to say 5 to 8, somewhere in there is when the tornado came through.
All right, let's take a look around here for folks to get a realization of what's going on. What we're standing by here, we'll try to get kind of wide here, is what's left of a storage shed that was on your property. Looks like it's a steel and wooden structure, or wooden structure and tin.
Yep, it's wooden and tin. It was put up in the 70s, 50 by 80 machine shed, used basically for storage. We've got 4 wagons, bean head, and a planter and an auger in here. Of course, it got dark right after the storm passed, so we haven't had a lot of time to assess the damage. I think most of it will be salvageable. You know, all this stuff can be replaced.
And we've got pictures that I'll be sharing later in the comments that we'll see that you took during the daylight hours. We'll get those shared as well. And again, the storm, if you take a look at some of the damage here, I mean, you're talking twisting of wood and certainly ripping. We had definitely some high velocity winds throughout the area. And we're going to come over here to the cornfield. Now, the corn was a little over knee high, well on its way to hip high this time of year. But we're going to walk over to the edge of the field and show everybody what the corn's doing now. And if you want to give some extra light, that would be great. This corn out here is now laying pretty much flat.
Let me just step out here.
Yeah, step out here and let's show you along your boots
see
here.
Well, we'll stand this guy back up. So yeah, she was almost chest high. We got some green snap. A lot of it got laid over. Some of it probably will come back, but we're going to lose quite a bit off of it, I think.
And you're not the only one in the neighborhood with damage. There's other homes and clearly other areas damaged. Again, there's lots of tin and debris. We'll come around here and you get a view of some of the wagons and everything that are back in here. And again, yeah, it looks like some of the equipment might not be too worse for wear, but certainly the shed is going to need to be replaced.
Yes.
But thankfully, you're okay. Everybody in the family's okay.
Everybody's
so
good,
far.
so we're thankful. You know, like I say, a lot of this stuff can be replaced. That's what we have insurance for, and we'll just rebuild and continue on.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll share the pictures in the comments. If you have any information on any damage or anything that's broke in your neck of the woods, let me know. We'd love to come out and talk to you tonight. That's Charles Van Horn for Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Good evening. A wild night of weather has continued throughout the area. Tornadoes or possible tornadoes and high-speed winds moved through the area starting around 8:30 p.m. tonight, and damage throughout the area. I'm in Troy Grove right now at the Wild Bill Hickok Park and the birthplace of Wild Bill Hickok. A couple of trees down here that we're seeing right now. I'll be able to show those to you in just a moment. We'll just take a quick look around. It's light rain going on right now throughout the area, but a lot of the major storms have, for the time being, slid away from our location. Again, the Wild Bill Hickok Memorial. Not a lot of good light to look at here, but we certainly have tree limbs and trees down. Significant tree has fallen here in the middle of the park. Some other trees have fallen throughout town. No power in Troy Grove right now. Looks like there are crews currently trying to get roads clear. I understand that 52 also was closed in spots. So please drive with caution. If you have no reason to be out tonight, do not do so. Again, this is the park in Troy Grove, looking at the birthplace of Wild Bill Hickok. A large tree uprooted right here, right now. And moving over, it looks like the statue. I know some probably have concerns about the statue and the marker. The statue is A-OK. Country 100.1 WGLC. We're looking at part of a porch roof in Troy Grove, Illinois, where we have a rather large tree that is coming down onto a home here on the, well, this would be the west side of town. Joining me right now is Cameron Graper, say hello.
Hello.
You're the homeowner here,
Yes.
and at about 8:30 or so tonight, you heard a loud boom, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whatever it was that hit, I don't know if this really was a tornado or something nearby, but the whole house started shaking, so we were in the basement. We covered up as good as we could and heard some big old loud crashes.
And that's good. You guys lost power at the same time. Obviously, we have a power line that's down here in the area. And this large tree came and got a good chunk of the corner of the house, but nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
Pets, animals, everybody okay?
Everyone was down in the basement, and we ducked and covered when it hit.
Well,
so.
that's good to hear. And of course, looking around town, looks like this may be the worst hit spot in Troy Grove right
Yeah,
now.
I'm right on the west side, so I think it came right through on the west end.
Came right through on the west side. We're going to turn the camera around and try to get some view here of the damage, if we can figure that out. If you want to hold this for a second. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to turn this around, and we're going to try to get some look at the damage that's going on here. Again, this is part of the roof that came off, a small section of roof that came off, and the tree that snapped about 5 foot off the ground or so, snapped and then came down on the corner of the house and did some roof damage there and alongside the back door of the home. So that's what's going on here in Troy Grove. Lots of tree limbs down, lots of power lines down. If you have no reason to be out, obviously don't. Leave the roads clear for emergency personnel. Thank you very much for joining me here, Cameron. I hope tomorrow morning, hope come daylight, you get everything put back together and everything's going good.
Absolutely. Well, I just feel blessed. Absolutely. Took care of me. So
All right. Well,
we're good.
thank you for spending time to talk with us. You get inside, get dry tonight, and have fun tomorrow. It's Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Charles with you. We are on the southeast side of Earlville with Rex and Shirley Hansen. And you guys had a little bit of an adventure last night. The storms came through, and it was about 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Correct.
Or so. And what did you guys, when was the first clue that something was going to be wrong?
Television.
Television?
Watching the television
And
program.
then
and I
the
can't
cell
tell you what
phones
state.
went off
Yeah, it scared
with
us.
the warnings.
And you got the cell phone notifications that
Right.
the storms
Yes, we
were
did.
on their way. When the storms arrived, what did you see?
Very little, actually, because
A
we
lot of,
were smart enough to get down into an inside room in the lower level.
So you guys got
And I
inside.
could see out through the windows, and you could see the leaves from the trees just.
And you had a lot of leaves, a lot of trees. We'll show everybody here in a
Yeah.
second all the damage and everything around here. Have you guys ever seen anything like this before?
Never. Not me.
Never.
Not so close.
So what was your reaction when the storm had gone past? You'd opened the door and seen what had happened to your yard and the trees and everything.
Thankful that we were alive, and it was only damage to the property that can be replaced.
I was amazed that we really could not hear anything. People say, well, it sounded like a freight train going by. We couldn't hear anything inside there except
Nothing.
for the rain.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, we're going to take people on a little tour of everything that's going on around here. So I'm going to change the camera around, and we're going to show everybody what's going on around here behind us. There's quite a bit of trees down around the area. We'll start over here, if we can. Step down over here and go take a look at their yard. This is a pretty big lot. How many acres is this altogether? How many? 48 acres, and you guys have quite a few trees in the property, and a lot of them are damaged or down, and surprisingly enough, those are the ones nearest to the house, as it turned out. Now we'll go down here and we'll take a look at the side of their house. Big, large tree came down and struck part of the home. Any idea how much damage the house actually sustained?
Just that little bit, the gutters.
Just the gutters. And that really is amazing in itself, that you had no other damage. So you guys are probably going to spend a few days out here picking up sticks and leaves and everything else. And
We're having a birthday party for my granddaughter. Her birthday is Sunday.
hopefully it's not a surprise party.
Bring your chainsaw and a truck.
So you're having a birthday party Sunday, and it's bring a chainsaw And a truck.
A
That's
theme party. And I promised him a cake, so hey.
all right. Well, glad to hear that everything went well for you guys. Thank you very much for talking with me.
Our
You
pleasure.
guys hope this doesn't happen again for a very, very, very long time.
You've got an Uncle
Absolutely
Dean.
correct.
All right. You guys have a great one.